podcast? What made you feel and think that this is something necessary for you to do?
How it all began is some years back, at around the time the Lord God began to speak to my heart about doing 27 guns, telling that story. When I was in talks really with the Lord, we were at church doing a study on the root of slavery, and Patience was teaching. God showed her that the root of slavery, the root of corruption is the same as the root of slavery. And I found that quite profound, quite deep. And it talks about how basically, before, what was our part as Africans, even in the selling of our own brothers. So when we were doing that study, basically, to come back to your question, when we were doing that lesson, those teachings, there were images should show about, the slaves taken by the colonizers who were taking the slaves, the slaves en route to the coasts, and very harrowing pictures, children, men, women. There's a particular image of a woman, the one that really cut me, was a woman, and she had a clamp on her mouth. I need to find that image. She had a wooden clamp on her mouth. That really affected me, because already you have been enslaved as a human being. You have been grabbed from your life, from your land. You don't know where you're going. You don't know. You have no understanding. As in, you are like dying, and on top of that, they shut you up. Like, they silence you. They clamped her mouth. That thing really affected me, and I feel like as Africans, we've been silenced for so long. So that's where all of these, I think that's where God began to birth all of this need to speak, to say what we've done, what how I see things, our perspective, make platforms to tell our stories, tell our own history, from our own perspective, those who participated in it. And so an African podcast is just an extension of that breaking free, breaking out, of that silencing.